スプリングトレーニングでは東京シリーズに向け順調に調整を続けている大谷選手と山本投手と佐々木投手。マーク・プライアーピッチングコーチがメディアからインタビューを受け、日本人投手3人の状態についてコメントをしていました。
What went into, suggesting to Shohei about pitching out of the windup?
I mean, that's something that he was looking to do, and like you said, I think he's mentioned he's always trying to get better and do some things, and he wanted to feel some energy. Wasn't something that necessarily I brought to the table. Something that he did, and I like it. I mean, I always like guys in deliveries. Sometimes you move guys to stretch only to simplify things, but I like when guys have some athleticism and some rhythm in their delivery. I think it helps your timing. And so I think that's what he's messing around with right now.
Does that help as well as far as maybe taking some stress off the arm, getting momentum towards the plate?
I think it can help with guys' sequencing and timing that ultimately will take hopefully some stress off an arm. To say that pitching out of the windup is less stressful than pitching out of the stretch is no. But it's all about getting into certain positions for that individual. Some guys do it better with the help of the windup and the timing. Some guys don't. So it's unique to that person. But again, I think for him right now, trying to get a little bit more rhythm in the timing, and so it's not so choppy, so to speak, and make sure he's not in kind of rehab mode and he's in more of I'm getting ready to pitch and compete in games.
Roki would be throwing a bullpen today. It did not appear that he did.
No, he threw a bullpen today. We threw him in a cage and used some and got some technology on him just to kind of get a baseline for him. It's something that we do with all our pitchers all the way through, up and down through the organization. That's the beauty of that big building. So, but he did throw a bullpen and he's preparing to throw Tuesday. It was right around 30-ish, give or take one or two, but he was right around 30.
Is he going to pitch in an exhibition game Tuesday? Or?
So he's going to face the White Sox in a hybrid type B situation over here on Field 1. Snell's pitching that day. Given everybody's, we have a lot of guys. Tony's going to piggyback somebody the next time. All our starters to kind of the previous question, we have a lot of guys that we're building up. So, and given different rest intervals that these guys have, guys are going to fall on top of each other on certain days. Roki, yeah. I mean, a guy who's, look, I think our first thing is the same thing we did with Yamamoto last year, is just trying to get him acclimated to, one, U.S. style of baseball and practices and meetings and different things, and obviously there's a different style there, and then just kind of getting to know him, understand what he's trying to do, how he goes about his work. So these first, how long we've been here now, a couple weeks, is really just both of us trying to get to know each other, and then try to progress from there. Get him dialed in, some things that he wants to work on. But he's very curious. I think the one thing has been really cool is him and his teammates. Seeing him interact with his teammates, he's extremely outgoing and having a good time with those. And so ultimately, I think those relationships will pay dividends as the season progresses, because there's going to be ups and downs. Like any baseball player, the game's hard. But him having those relationships and starting those right now with the guys, I think has been pretty cool. So he's fun. He likes to have fun, and that's the main thing. Is clearly we didn't quite know who he was or his personality, but it's a fun personality, but it's also he's driven, and you can see that in his work.
Dave's talked a lot about just with Yoshinobu coming into the season, how he's well ahead than kind of maybe you guys thought coming in this year. What's just kind of stood out to you about him, especially in his second year in the big leagues? And is there anything kind of just with it, whether it's mound presence, things, execution, things like that you've been seeing that have been different this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's just comfortable. Yeah. It's a similar situation I think we all go through. It's new environment, language barrier at times. I think 12 months of him going through, having the experience of last year. Clearly, winning a World Series doesn't hurt. But he's just comfortable and confident. He knows where everything is. He knows where he's supposed to be. So I think he's just comfortable. He's relaxed. He's getting his work in. He looks great. So that's really the difference. Where you could tell last year, there's some uncertainty, as there should be. What trying to figure out even which fields 1 and 2, stuff like that. But those simple things, even for our minor leaguers and our young guys, like just being able to kind of been there, done that type of thing, puts a lot of those apprehensions at ease, and then you can just let his talent just kind of do what it does. And so that's been the thing. He just looks confident and comfortable and knows that he belongs and knows he's pitched at an extremely high level last year on the biggest stages. And so it's been fun to see him kind of like relax and just go about his business like he's a veteran for 10 years. And so that's been cool.
プライアーコーチの言葉からも皆さん順調に調整できているようで何よりです。スプリングトレーニングでの佐々木投手の初登板は火曜日のホワイトソックス戦ということで本当に楽しみですね。山本投手は10年目のベテラン選手のようだと2年目に入り、その落ち着きでさらなる飛躍が見られそうです。東京シリーズに向け引き続き怪我のない順調な調整を期待します。